So I've been an agent and an investor since around 2006, and this market in the last 2 years has been nothing like I've ever seen or experienced. In this video, I'm going to cover how this market has affected being an agent or an investor and how I've shifted strategies because of that. I'll also take some questions from the BiggerPockets family on what it's like to be an agent or investor in 2021. Let's go. Welcome to Agent vs. Investor Cage Match with me, Anson Young. I'm both a real estate agent and investor, and since I wear both hats and I've had hundreds of transactions under my belt, I have the unique perspective of being on both sides, and I get to hear how much crap each side talks about each other from the perspective of being in the middle. So sometimes it can be fun. Agents and investors don't always have to fight. Can't we just get along and help people and make money in the process? Of course we can. Since you're right here on BiggerPockets YouTube, please throw them a like and a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already for more content like this, or from those other creators like the guy with the beard, the guy with no hair with a beard. I'm giving David a run for his money right now. So please like and subscribe. It is free, and it does help out BiggerPockets. And you want to help BiggerPockets, right? I mean, come on. They've helped us all make a ton of money and provide more freedom and all that fun stuff. So first I'm going to cover some of the general market, how each side has reacted to it, and then I'll go into questions from the BiggerPockets family. So what's up with the market right now? Well, it's these things. We have very low inventory, which means that prices are going to go up. So if there's less of something and the same amount of buyers to buy, then the prices will inevitably go up. So in most markets across the US, with the low inventory, it just means that there's less deals that are out there on the market. And as an agent, there's less listings to be had. Since there aren't a lot of listings, people who are out buying a house have to compete with 5 times the amount of buyers that they used to. So prices will go up, inspections are getting dropped, appraisals are getting waived, and people are overbidding on properties in order to win them. I mean, people still have to go live somewhere, right? So keep that in mind. Inventory is very low, prices are going up. It's going to cause problems for some people, especially if you have to go buy and live in a house right now. So talking to the agents right now, buyers are 10 times the amount of work as sellers. And it's always been that way. Buyers have always been more work than listings, but right now with multiple offers, a low amount of listings to go see, and just all the insanity of putting in those offers and competing with 5 or 10 other offers, it's a lot of work for an agent. So some buyers are dropping out right now due to fatigue of going out weekend after weekend, losing out on house after house after house. I mean, how many times are you going to go out and just get beat down every single weekend? So right now in Denver, there are 21,000 agents and there are about 2,300 listings. So there are 10 agents for every single listing that's out there. So if you primarily focused on listings right now, they are harder to come by. So sellers are super happy to be on the side where they make an extra $50,000 on their property. But if they have to turn around and enter the buyer's market and be the ones that have to offer that $50,000 over just to win a property, some sellers are kind of sitting on the sidelines and not wanting to flip the coin and be on the other side of that transaction. Because selling a house is super easy right now, but buying is super hard. So you have a lot of fence sitters right now. So between buyers falling off due to fatigue, sellers who are maybe on the fence about listing, it's just a hard time to be an agent right now, or at least harder than it used to be 2 years ago or so.
Look, I didn't even know how many weasels you could fit into a trash can. Oh, hey folks, here with the housing report is Cynthia. Thanks, Tom. Mr. Homeowner, did you know that your house is now worth 10 times what it used to be worth? No, I didn't. Thank you.
And on the investor side, so prices are going up, which means that in general, we are paying more for deals than we used to. When the real estate market gets in the news, that means that your average homeowner now has watched these prices go up. They've heard stories about it. Their neighbor down the street sold their house for $70,000 more than their asking price. And so they have this thing in their head where they can also sell their property for top dollar, and most of the times they're right. So you coming in with a low cash offer just doesn't mean as much when they can put it on the market and get a bunch of cash offers, or at least a bunch of really good offers. Your fellow investors are still out there competing for those sellers. And so how are you standing out from the 10 calls that they got this week, from the 10 letters that they got for their property? These homeowners are seeing the same amount of investor competition, and how are you standing out from the rest of them? And a lot of investors right now are crunched for inventory. They're not getting as much properties in the door as they used to, and so wholesaling right now is super easy. If you have a deal, it's gonna fly off the shelf immediately. And if you are an investor who is providing inventory to the market, so if you're wholetailing, which is basically a wholesale, but you just put it out on the general market for anybody to buy, or you're a fix and flip investor and you're providing that inventory to the market, then selling is super easy right now and buying is a lot harder. So when you put that flip on the market, it's just gonna be gone. Over asking price, waive the appraisal, waive the inspection. It's just how it is right now. Landlords are seeing higher rents and they're going up every single month. And so landlords are happy about that. There's still a lot of demand for rentals as well. And so landlords are doing great. How about your short-term rentals? Right now, it seems like everybody wants to get out of their own house. And so they're going to go rent on Airbnb or VRBO. And all of my short-term rental friends are just raking in the cash right now in wheelbarrows. They don't know what to do with it. They're burying it, and they're putting it in their bathtub, and they're just trying to free up some extra room for all this cash. So in general, unless you have to buy a bunch of property, it's a really good time to be an investor in this market. So low inventory does make it harder to buy, even off market. But if you are providing inventory to the market with a rental or a fix and flip, man, those things are going fast. All right, time for some questions. How has the market in 2021 forced you to pivot as an agent or an investor, or just change the way that you're doing things? So as an agent, I have focused a bit more on trying to find listings. Now, they're harder to find, of course, but they're a lot easier to work with. So I've been focusing on that, but with my buyers, I've been providing value by getting them with companies that help them have more creative options for their offers. So I know that this isn't available everywhere, but there are a lot more lenders that are going this direction and trying to make buyers have a little bit more power. But hooking up my buyers with companies that make their offers look like cash so that they can close faster, close easier, and be more competitive inside of those 5 offers that the seller's looking at. So I've really had to pivot in getting more creative and offering more services and hooking them up with the right people so that we can have success in this kind of market. As an investor, I've definitely doubled down on off-market deal finding, cold calling, direct mail, door knocking, all of those things to try and get in front of sellers before my competition does, or stand out from the competition. And like many other investors in this kind of market right now, we have also pivoted to going longer distance out of state in order to find a softer market that has a little bit more inventory, that has less competition. And I think a lot of investors are finding that the grass might be greener. All right, the next question is, can you still find deals in this hot market? And the answer is, of course, yes. There are investors finding deals right now, as I'm speaking right here on the MLS, on market or off market. Yes, you can definitely still find deals right now. Now, are you getting a little bit more creative in finding those, or are you throwing more marketing dollars at them? Probably, but they're still there. As an agent in 2021, how are you helping your clients? I think that was the question. How are you helping your clients? As an agent with my sellers, I am definitely coaching them through the process of what to expect and how fast things are going to move as we list a property on a Thursday and it is sold by Sunday with multiple offers. And as an agent with my buyers, again, I'm finding them some creative solutions so that they can stand out inside of a competitive marketplace. This question's a little similar. It's just, how do you go about buying a property in this overpriced market, or can you still buy a property in this overpriced market? And again, that answer is yes. There are still investors who are buying directly from MLS. It might just still fit their business model. So if they're looking for a certain cash on cash return, things might look overpriced from a year ago, but if it still fits your business model, then buyers are still buying right now no matter what. So in this 2-second clip, probably 100 investors put properties under contract or bought them, closed on them. So it's still happening all the time, every day. You're just gonna have to dig a little bit deeper to find those deals. If your criteria is tightening up, then yeah, you might have to go off market. You might have to go another direction, but you don't have a time machine, so we can't go back in time 10 years ago to buy these properties. So the next best option is now, or sit on the sidelines. And I think people who have been sitting on the sidelines for 2 years have found that there is no crash. I don't know what to tell you. There's just no crash. It might look like a dumpster fire at times, but it's not. It's not crashing. And the last question is, have you had to hustle more? And the answer is always yes. So with more competition, competition as an agent right now is very high. So you're either having to help your buyers stand out from the rest of the competition, or you're competing heavily for listings. Yes, you're gonna have to hustle more. And as an investor, hustling more for deals, whether it's on market or off market or from wholesalers, it doesn't matter. You're still trying to find ways to stand out from the competition, and that involves hustle. That involves getting out there and taking action. So again, I'm Anson Young. If you want more information from me, find me on BiggerPockets, send me a message there, leave a comment below, find me on YouTube, find me wherever my name pops up. Please connect. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know if you have any more questions for future episodes when it comes to this idea of agents versus investors, and we're always clashing and fighting in the middle here. So thanks for joining us. Talk to you soon.